Jai Shri Radhe Krishna. When darkness falls upon our lives and all paths seem closed, we often feel lonely and hopeless. However, in such moments, the greatest guide for us is the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The wisdom that Lord Shri Krishna imparted to Arjuna is not limited to the battlefield of the Mahabharata. It is relevant to every struggle in our lives. In today's video, we will explore the key shlokas and teachings of the Gita that can help keep our minds and souls steady in difficult times. Watch till the end as we uncover the profound secrets of Shri Krishna that have the power to transform your life. The Srimad Bhagavad Gita is not confined to any single religion. It is a universal scripture meant for all of humanity. Every individual should read and understand it to attain happiness, peace, and success in life. It is said that in a home where the Gita is read or heard daily, Lord Shri Krishna's presence is always there. The Gita is the divine voice of God Himself. Its glory is boundless and beyond description. Even deities like Lord Shiva and Lord Ganesha cannot fully articulate its greatness, let alone humans. The Bhagavad Gita consists of 18 chapters and 700 verses, which may be challenging for many to read in their entirety. That is why, in this special video, we will discuss the essence of these 700 verses, distilling their core wisdom to help you grasp the true meaning of the Gita. Listening to these teachings every night before sleeping can bring clarity and peace to your life. Lord Shri Krishna declares, "O Arjuna, I reside in the heart of every being. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all existence. I am the sun. Among the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. Among the gods, I am Indra. Among the senses, I am the mind. I am Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. Among water bodies, I am the ocean, and among mountains, I am the Himalayas. Everything you see in this universe is a reflection of me." A person may possess immense wealth and knowledge of the world, but if he does not know himself, he remains ignorant. If someone rejects you, do not be disheartened, for they fail to recognize your true worth. True relationships are not defined by mere words, but by emotions. The bonds that bring tears to our eyes are deep, while those that abandon us in sorrow are fragile. Maintain inner calm, for strength is found in composure. Just as iron is strong when cold, but malleable when heated. In times of adversity, these 7 virtues will guide you: knowledge, humility, intelligence, inner courage, good deeds, truthfulness, faith in God. The soul always knows what is right and wrong. The challenge lies in mastering the mind. Difficult times may leave us feeling alone, but they also forge our strength. Respect those who respect you, and do not bow to status alone. That is a sign of weakness. Shri Krishna says, "The one who neither rejoices nor hates, neither mourns nor desires, and who renounces both good and bad deeds is truly dear to me." There are 3 paths to attain me: Dhyana Yoga, meditation; Jnana Yoga, knowledge; and Karma Yoga, selfless action. Among these, Karma Yoga is the highest. Trust people not by their words, but by their actions. Life becomes easier when we pause before reacting in anger and show understanding when others make mistakes. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that those who truly know Shri Krishna are freed from the cycle of birth and death. Reading and following the Gita purifies one's karma, dissolving past misdeeds. What is destined will come, and what is not meant for us will pass. Just as the wind directs a boat, desires can mislead the intellect. A wise person learns from others' virtues rather than harboring jealousy. Words can wound the soul more deeply than weapons harm the body. Those who do not see themselves as separate from God and who detach from material identity attain eternal liberation. Those who reach spiritual enlightenment walk the path of selfless action, while those who unite with God find inner stability and peace. The Bhagavad Gita emphasizes the importance of human welfare, urging us to prioritize righteousness in our duties. Shri Krishna advises, "Support those who support you and walk away from those who betray you. Stay where you are valued. Leaving your dignity behind diminishes your worth. Just as crops fail without rain, a society without culture perishes. Time is precious. Those who claim to have none for you have already excluded you from their lives. O Arjuna, one who understands my divine birth and deeds is freed from the cycle of rebirth and attains my supreme abode. He who renounces desires and attachment finds immense peace. Without knowledge and faith in God, true happiness and success remain unattainable. What God has given us is sufficient. Accepting this truth brings unshakable peace. Moral discipline, love, and selfless service arise from satsang, spiritual company. While prayer may not always change destiny, it certainly transforms character. Speak with kindness so that even if you must retract your words, they do not leave a bitter taste. Self-respect is crucial. Without it, others will try to suppress you. We should strive in areas where we have authority. Only a truly enlightened person perceives the soul as a wonder. Another describes its essence as a wonder, and yet another, with authority, listens to it as a wonder. However, even after hearing about it, few truly understand its significance. Shri Krishna says that a patient person, one who views joy and sorrow as equal and remains undisturbed by sensory experiences, is worthy of salvation. Until you give up on yourself, no force in the world can defeat you. You are not weak. It is merely a phase, and time changes for everyone. Keep doing your duty. Those who have never faced a crisis will never realize their true strength. Those who possess kindness, understand others' struggles, and have a good heart rise above every defeat. Never feel pride when giving something to someone. You never know whether you are offering help or repaying a debt from a past life. An arrogant person loses everything: lineage, glory, and prestige. Just look at Ravana, Duryodhana, and Kansa. Silence is often the greatest response, and forgiveness the greatest punishment. A person who possesses patience has unmatched strength. Unnecessary worry and fear weaken the spirit. One should neither flee from life's challenges nor blame fate or divine will. The noble men who consume the sanctified remnants of yajna, sacrificial offerings, are freed from sin, whereas those who prepare food solely for their own sustenance consume only sin. Those who remain engrossed in material survival without remembering God should understand that only knowledge is eternal. It never abandons a person, regardless of circumstances. Just as seasons change, so too do happiness and sorrow in life. Success, whether in battle or in any endeavor, can be achieved through three weapons: dharma, righteousness, patience, and courage. Greatness is not determined by birth but by actions. If you wish to accomplish something, trust yourself. No matter how strong your support system may seem, insincere friends will leave you in difficult times. Wealth does not define a true friend. What matters is their support during hardships. Whatever your religion, strive to be a good person. Our deeds will be judged according to divine law. Seeking happiness for its own sake will not bring joy, but working with a joyful heart will. When you wish well for others, goodness will return to you. This is the law of nature. Your worth is not determined by what you do, but by what you have the potential to become. A smiling mind and a cheerful face are true wealth. If God is making you wait, it is because He has planned to give you more than you can imagine. Even if no one stands by you, do not despair. There is no better companion than God. True happiness comes from freedom, and freedom is determined by your courage. Trust is the foundation of every relationship. Without trust, no bond can endure. Do not dwell on past mistakes. If yesterday was lost in sorrow, do not waste today in regret. Many have attained ultimate success through work alone. Even the wisest have reached enlightenment through selfless action. Therefore, one must always perform good deeds without attachment to rewards. Shri Krishna says, "O Arjuna, I have no duty in the three worlds, nor is there anything I need to attain, yet I always engage in action. If I were to neglect my duties, it would lead to chaos, for mankind follows my example in every way. In this world, few help those who are struggling, and even fewer rejoice in another's success. Therefore, keep your sorrows to yourself and do not boast about your happiness." A person's diet should be sattvic, pure and balanced. One who does not understand what, how much, where, and how to eat will never attain spiritual wisdom. A person with a dull intellect may claim to have conquered the senses, but secretly remains attached to them. Such a person is a hypocrite. One who does not follow tradition, disregards the natural order, and neglects duty wastes life in fleeting pleasures. However, one who finds joy in the soul alone has no worldly duty left to fulfill. Realizing the true nature of the soul is the greatest truth. Such enlightened beings are rare, one among millions. For them, action is neither a necessity nor a burden, and they act selflessly, free from personal gain. Those who attain divine wisdom have a responsibility to inspire others. Their actions should set an example, motivating others to fulfill their duties with sincerity. People dominated by tamas, ignorance, remain lazy and indifferent, while those ruled by rajas, passion, seek to prove their bravery in trivial matters. But the wise understand that it is their innate qualities that drive them to act, whereas the ignorant believe they are in control. Let go of relationships tainted by selfishness and deceit. If you truly want to change your life, begin by changing your thoughts. As your thoughts shape your actions, they ultimately shape your destiny. Accept what is leaving your life. If it remains today, it may still disappear tomorrow. The more simple, honest, and kind-hearted you are, the more likely it is that dishonest and cunning people will take advantage of you. Everything lost in life can be regained, but broken trust and lost relationships cannot be restored. Trust only those who are truly worthy of it. Even those who carry a funeral bier accompany a person for only a few moments. Have faith in people just as you do in medicine. It may be bitter, but it will ultimately be beneficial. It is better to distance yourself from those who never valued your closeness. A truly great person is one who understands the pain of the less fortunate. Do not waste your time analyzing why someone is doing what they are doing or how they are doing it. The more you distance yourself from unnecessary worries, the happier you will be. Every relationship has its boundaries, but when it comes to self-respect, it is wise to walk away. Waking up late weakens one's determination. Those who achieve great things never sleep beyond their purpose. Help is a peculiar thing. If you offer it, people forget. If you don't, they remember. Every individual eventually surrenders to two people. One is family, and the other is the person they love. A foolish person not only harms themselves, but also those who try to help them. Be so engaged in life that you have no time for regrets, sorrow, hatred, or fear. If someone breaks your trust, be grateful. They have taught you to place your trust more carefully. If you seek happiness and peace, learn to keep your struggles and criticism to yourself. Do not let them define you. Relationships given by birth are a gift of nature, but the ones you build yourself are your true wealth. Cherish them. Before judging others, ensure your perspective is unbiased and clear. Never reveal your weaknesses, for they may be used against you. Never forget two kinds of people in life: those who caused you pain and those who stood by you in difficult times. Lord Shri Krishna says, "Do not be disheartened. When even your own people turn away, I will be with you." Never lower yourself so much that others begin to see you as weak. People will respect you only when you learn to treat them with the same detachment they show towards you. A lamp is respected not because it envies others, but because it shines for others. Success and failure are both temporary phases of life. Half of life's misunderstandings would be resolved if people talk to each other instead of talking about each other. Trust someone so deeply that they feel ashamed if they betray you, and love someone so purely that they always fear losing you. Even if you do not understand the depth of the four Vedas, it does not matter. But if you grasp the essence of four virtues, understanding, responsibility, loyalty, and honesty, your life will become meaningful. A wise person transcends both virtue and sin, freeing themselves from their consequences. When your intellect rises above delusion, you will attain detachment from worldly pleasures. Shri Krishna says, "O Arjuna, when a person completely relinquishes all desires from their heart and finds contentment within the soul, they are truly wise. One whose mind remains steady amidst sorrow, who has no cravings for happiness, and who is free from fear, anger, and attachment, is a person of stable wisdom. Just as a tortoise withdraws its limbs, a wise person withdraws their senses from distractions, keeping their intellect steady. One must understand when, how, and to whom to speak. Mastering this art brings meaning to life. Kanha says, "If you ever get the chance, do not hesitate to become someone's charioteer." A heart filled with righteousness gives righteous advice, while an unrighteous heart leads others astray. Man is not unhappy because he does not believe in God. He is unhappy because he lacks faith in divine justice. Everyone receives what they are destined for, but impatience leads to suffering. True love is a symbol of purity and divinity. Whatever has happened is beyond your control, so worrying is futile. Everything begins and ends with me. Sensory pleasures may seem sweet at first, but they eventually lead to destruction. Shri Krishna says, "O human, you have the power to make your life meaningful, but for that, you must take refuge in me. If my words seem strange, it is your perspective that needs to change. Right now, you do not see what I see, but if you trust in me, you will never be disappointed. Once someone places their faith in me, I never abandon them, and I am the greatest enemy of those who betray my devotees. If someone betrays my devotee even once, I do not forgive them for many lifetimes. I treat every heart as a temple and reside in the most beautiful ones." Shri Krishna says, "Love everyone in this world, but trust wisely. Do not place your complete trust in anyone. If you must trust, trust only God." When you begin something new, failure is natural. Sometimes you may stumble and fall, but that does not mean you should stop. A time will come when you will achieve perfection and success will follow. I will always stand by you, supporting you in every small and great endeavor. Do whatever your heart desires, but with humility and simplicity, not arrogance. Your ultimate purpose on this earth is to attain liberation. Only those who are determined in their actions and accept both joy and sorrow with equanimity can achieve this. Such a person listens to their soul, communicates with me, and even perceives my presence. The one who sees me in everything and feels my presence in all beings is my true devotee, and I love them dearly. Nothing in this world is permanent. I exist in every home, and my divine energy is equally distributed everywhere. Those who recognize me receive the nectar of devotion. Even the greatest sinner can be purified if they worship me with true devotion. Do not believe everything you hear. Some attain me through their conscience, some through knowledge, some through actions, and some through merit. The form in which you wish to see me is your choice. However you call upon me, I will appear. Always remain devoted to me, remember me in all your actions, and I promise you will always remain dear to me. Those who dismiss love as meaningless are fools. Love is the foundation of this world. It is the very reason for creation. Regular distance in relationships strengthens them, while irregular distance weakens them. A person is shaped by their beliefs. They become what they believe. Shri Krishna says, "Learn to fight for righteousness, learn to become the destruction of the unrighteous, and learn to sacrifice for your loved ones." Truth is like a drop of oil in water. No matter how much falsehood you pour in, truth will always rise to the surface. Never make promises in happiness or anger. Never respond in sorrow or make decisions in distress. A person may know a million things, but if they do not know themselves, they remain ignorant. People will praise you to fulfill their own interests and will try to form relationships for their benefit. If you get trapped in their pretenses, you will suffer later. Often, the people who hurt you the most are the ones closest to your heart. This is one of the greatest lessons of the Gita. The battle of Mahabharata was not fought among strangers, but within a family. Whether you choose to help someone or not, never intentionally hurt anyone. If you cause someone pain, remember, you will experience that pain one day as well. Excess in anything leads to harm. Therefore, life should be lived with balance. Those who commit injustice and wrongdoing must be confronted. Tolerating injustice makes you a partner in the sin. A wise person always stands against wrongdoing. Never blindly follow others. Always do what is right for you. Lord Shri Krishna says, a person who cannot protect themselves or does not even try will not be protected by God either. A person who does not recognize their own worth is not valued by others. A bad person never abandons their wickedness, no matter how well you treat them. They will still harm you. Therefore, deal with people according to their nature. Time does not respect those who do not respect it. Such people never attain happiness, peace, or success. The company you keep has a profound impact on your life. A good person who constantly surrounds themselves with bad company will eventually be influenced by it. In this world, consider no one as your own except God. When all worldly paths are closed, the path to God remains open. The path of doubt, however, is always open, but those who live in constant doubt never find peace. They neither attain success, wealth, or fame in this world, nor salvation in the next. Shri Krishna says, O Arjuna, what have you lost that you cry? What did you bring into this world that you think you have lost? What you have today belonged to someone else yesterday and will belong to another tomorrow. For change is the law of the universe. Everything follows the rule of time. Karma Yoga is the only path through which we truly connect with our soul. It is through selfless action that we attain the highest fulfillment and ultimate liberation. Karma Yoga awakens self-knowledge, enabling us to fulfill not only the objectives of our present life, but also those of our future lives. It offers a glimpse into destiny, as in this path, God is attained through selfless action. In the Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yoga is considered the supreme path, particularly suited for householders and hardworking individuals. Karma Yoga teaches that actions should be performed for their own sake, without attachment to the results. A true Karma Yogi works not for rewards, but because they find joy in the act itself. A Karma Yogi does not renounce the world, rather, they renounce the fruits of their actions, freeing themselves from the sufferings caused by karma. Their role in the world is that of a giver, never seeking anything in return. Because they do not expect rewards, they remain beyond sorrow. By renouncing the fruits of action, even worldly duties become a form of worship. No work in this world is separate from the divine. Selfless action is always an offering to God. The cycle of rebirth is fueled by unfulfilled desires. A karma yogi, detached from the outcomes of their deeds, does not accumulate desires and thus attains liberation from the bondage of rebirth. The power of the mind and self-control. Shri Krishna says, the human mind is as restless as the wind. It is the mind that keeps a person entangled in desires and illusions. To achieve success in life, it is essential to master the mind. A controlled mind channels its energy into focus, leading to success in all endeavors. According to the Gita, those who gain mastery over their mind become free from negative thoughts, unnecessary worries, and harmful desires, making it easier to attain their goals. If one does not control the mind, it becomes their greatest enemy. Shri Krishna explains that the person who remains calm in both joy and sorrow, who has conquered passion, fear, and anger, and who neither rejoices nor despises material gains or losses, is a person of steady wisdom. Such a sage, having subdued the senses and attained divine knowledge, remains perpetually content. The destructive nature of anger and the power of serenity. Anger is the gateway to ruin. When a person becomes angry, their mind loses clarity, memory becomes confused, and wisdom is destroyed, leading to downfall. Shri Krishna advises that no matter how provoked one may feel, they should strive to remain calm. Just as the vast ocean remains unshaken despite storms or the inflow of countless rivers, so too does a true yogi remain steadfast in their divine consciousness. Worldly pleasures or suffering do not disturb their inner peace. Such a yogi remains unwavering and united with God. The person who renounces all desires and moves through life without attachment, ego, or selfishness is the one who attains true peace. Just as a ray of light shines in the darkness, truth always prevails. Therefore, one must always walk the path of truth. Truth does not need validation, for it stands on its own, while falsehood constantly seeks justification. The importance of righteous actions. No one is born great, it is their deeds that make them great. A righteous action is not defined by immediate success, but by its inherent virtue. A noble individual sets an example for others, and the world follows their footsteps. Hence, one must always act with integrity. Those who lack faith in God can never attain true happiness, peace, or success. Their intellect leads them astray, making them perceive both worldly and spiritual fulfillment as opposites. As a result, they fall into a cycle of confusion, corruption, and ultimate downfall. After death, such souls may be reborn in lower life forms or suffer the torments of hell due to their misdeeds. Shri Krishna says, "A person who remains steadfast in their duties, even in adversity, stays true to their dharma. Even if they lose their life in the pursuit of righteousness, their death leads to ultimate liberation and they attain heaven, divine manifestation, and devotion." Krishna tells Arjuna, "You and I have taken many births. You do not remember them, but I do. Though I am eternal and beyond birth and death, I manifest myself through divine energy whenever righteousness declines and unrighteousness rises. To protect the virtuous, destroy evil, and restore dharma, I incarnate in every age. In whatever form a devotee worships me, I appear to them in that form. I reflect the emotions of my devotees. If they seek me with love and devotion, I reciprocate with the same intensity. Those who dedicate themselves to me, I dedicate myself to them in return." Many people seek material pleasures and worship deities such as Indra and other celestial gods, as their blessings yield immediate results. However, I do not grant fleeting desires. Even when my devotees approach me with worldly wishes, I fulfill only those that ultimately lead them to spiritual liberation. Through detachment from material desires, their faith and love for me grow stronger. Worldly men often do not receive the fruits of my devotion immediately. Therefore, those with lesser wisdom worship other gods in pursuit of quick results for their actions. Man is constantly preoccupied with himself. He curses his fate, even though he knows that his deeds are greater than destiny and that his future lies in his own hands. Whatever has happened was for the good. Whatever is happening is also for the good, and whatever will happen will be for the good. Do not dwell on the past, nor worry about the future. The present is all that truly exists. A karma yogi, who neither harbors hatred nor desires anything, is like a sannyasi, free from the bondage of the world. I do not create anyone's destiny, nor do I withhold the fruits of anyone's actions. I create man, and it is his own actions that shape his destiny. Man is both his own greatest friend and his own worst enemy. A wise individual can attain salvation in a single lifetime through karma yoga or bhakti yoga. Such a person transcends the ocean of worldly existence and attains God. In contrast, those trapped in lust, anger, greed, and attachment continue to wander through 8.4 million species of life. The consequences of actions and the power of devotion. Lord Shri Krishna says, "Any man who sincerely strives to attain God will never face misfortune in this world. No matter where he resides, be it in this life or the next, he continues progressing on the divine path. However, those whose wisdom is clouded by Maya, who willingly engage in sinful acts, and who do not even attempt to know me, can never be freed from suffering in this life or beyond. But the one who remembers me even at the moment of death and renounces his body in my name attains my supreme abode. There is no doubt about this. Those who worship gods attain gods. Those who worship ancestors reach their ancestors. Those who worship spirits join the spirits. But my devotees, who worship me alone, attain me and do not take rebirth. Any devotee who offers me leaves, flowers, fruits, or water with love and a pure heart, I accept their offerings with love as they manifest in the pure Sattva Guna. Lord Shri Krishna declares, "O Arjun, whatever work you do, whatever food you eat, whatever sacrifices you perform, Whatever charity you give and whatever penance you undertake, offer it all to me, and I shall grant you salvation. I hold no one dearer than another, nor do I dislike anyone. Yet, the devotee who worships me with unwavering devotion resides in me, and I reside in him. Even a wicked person who turns to me with exclusive devotion is to be regarded as a saint because he has firmly realized that there is no greater pursuit than the worship of God. Overcoming the influence of tamasic and rajasic qualities. Regardless of one's birth, whether as a woman, Vaishya, Shudra, ghost, vampire, or even a Chandal, anyone who surrenders to me attains the highest salvation. Tamasic qualities lead to sadness and self-doubt, fostering a sense of inferiority, while Rajasic qualities breed jealousy and greed. Lord Shri Krishna instructs that every human must recognize and nurture their sattvic qualities by eliminating tamasic and rajasic influences. Sattvic qualities connect the soul to the universe and inspire love and compassion for all beings. If you cannot do good for others, at the very least, do not cause harm. The world may be fragile, but its creator is not. Ultimately, only two entities truly know the rightness or wrongness of our actions, God and our conscience. Surrendering to God is the greatest support one can receive. Those who embrace this divine support become free from fear, worry, and sorrow. The importance of self-knowledge and faith. Every human must first evaluate themselves, understanding their own abilities and capacities. Only through self-awareness can one attain true knowledge of the self. Until a person understands themselves, they cannot be saved. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna declares that every person must have unwavering faith in themselves. It is said that those who believe in themselves inevitably achieve success. One ultimately becomes what they believe. Happiness and sorrow are like the changing seasons. Just as winter gives way to summer, sorrow will eventually be replaced by joy. Therefore, one must face both with patience and composure. Those who remain patient and dedicated to their work, finding joy even in the smallest tasks, will undoubtedly succeed in the end. On the other hand, those who view their work as a burden and merely strive to complete it without sincerity will struggle to find fulfillment. True success lies not just in finishing a task, but in approaching it with dedication and devotion. If a person wishes to succeed but does not perform their tasks with diligence, they will always lag behind in life. Those who are selfish, focused solely on their own gains, and indifferent to the well-being of others never truly prosper. Lord Shri Krishna has imparted a profound lesson for such individuals in the Gita Saar. God explains that selfishness is like dust on a mirror. It clouds one's vision and prevents self-reflection. A selfish person distances themselves from others and is driven toward negativity, ultimately leading to loneliness. If one desires a happy and fulfilling life, they must understand this truth. Therefore, it is essential never to let selfishness take control, as selfish individuals form friendships solely for their benefit. Faith in God and overcoming difficulties. God always supports humans. If a person accepts this powerful truth, their life transforms completely. It is believed that God is the creator of the universe and governs all, while man is merely a puppet in his hands. Thus, one should not worry about the past or the future because God helps us through every difficulty. He guides us out of hardships, and for this reason, we must always have unwavering faith in Him. In the Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna teaches that we must prioritize our work and give our best efforts. We should complete our own tasks before assisting others, because those who neglect their duties in favor of others often end up troubled. A person can give from the heart even when they cannot give with their hands, and silence can express what words sometimes cannot. It is unwise to waste time on matters beyond our control. No one receives anything before its destined time, no more than their fate allows. However, once we receive something, it is our responsibility to act upon it. Those who dedicate their minds to me and worship me, I provide them with what they lack and protect what they possess. Therefore, it is crucial to pray to God in times of distress. Lord Shri Krishna assures us that no matter how challenging life becomes, we must never lose hope. Instead, we should face difficulties with courage. It is the law of the world that sorrow is inevitable, but lamenting over it only increases suffering. Resilience and the role of friends in life. To move forward in life and establish an identity, one must be willing to be a revolutionary and adapt to circumstances. Completing one's work without worrying about societal judgments is the path to success. True friendships hold great significance in life. Genuine friends stand by us in difficult times, just as Lord Krishna supported the Pandavas. Similarly, we should choose friends who remain by our side during hardships and offer the same unwavering support to them. Life is full of victories and defeats, but success belongs to those who learn from their mistakes and failures. Feeling discouraged after a loss is not the solution to any problem. Instead, one must develop a better strategy to overcome challenges. Without struggle, victory is unattainable. Even the Pandavas, under the guidance of Shri Krishna, relied on strategic wisdom to win the battle against the Kauravas. Spiritual evolution and devotion. If a devotee fails to complete their spiritual practices in one lifetime, God grants them rebirth in a pure and prosperous family to continue their devotion. O Dhananjay, Lord Krishna says, there is no cause of this universe other than me. I am the supreme source of everything. Like a thread stringing pearls together, I hold the universe. Everything originates from me, exists in me, and ultimately merges back into me. In essence, apart from God, nothing truly exists. The world has no independent existence. The material world is bound by Maya, composed of the three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. Trapped in illusion, human beings remain preoccupied with accumulating pleasures. They experience shifting emotions, happiness and sorrow, wisdom and ignorance, strength and weakness, due to my Maya. However, those who surrender to me rise above this illusion, for their focus remains solely on me. O Arjun, Krishna continues, 4 types of devotees remember me and perform pure deeds. The first is the Arth Bhakt, who seeks relief from suffering. The second is the Artharthi Bhakt, who desires wealth and prosperity. The third is the Jigyasu Bhakt, who seeks knowledge of God. And the fourth is the Jnani Bhakt, who truly understands me through wisdom. Examples of true devotion. The Arth Bhakt calls upon God only in times of crisis. They turn to Him when their life is in danger, as He alone can relieve their suffering. Draupadi and Gajendra serve as examples of this devotion. During Draupadi's dishonoring, as long as she relied on Bhishma Pitama and the Pandavas, she continued to suffer. However, when she surrendered unconditionally to Lord Krishna, He immediately came to her aid and protected her honor. Similarly, Gajendra struggled against the crocodile, relying on his own strength and the help of other elephants. He suffered for years until he surrendered entirely to the Lord, who then saved him from danger. Conclusion. The teachings of Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita guide us to lead a righteous and fulfilling life. By removing selfishness, embracing faith, choosing true friendships, and persisting through hardships with courage, one can attain spiritual growth and ultimate salvation. Those who devote themselves to God with unwavering faith are always protected and guided toward liberation. After losing all hope, when Gajendra called out to Lord Hari with the words, Namo Bhagwate, the Lord immediately appeared, pried open the jaws of the crocodile, and saved him. Among distressed devotees, the example of Abhimanyu's wife, Uttara, is most appropriate. When she faced grave danger, she sought no solution other than Lord Shri Krishna. She prayed earnestly, saying, O Lord of the universe, this blazing arrow of Ashwatthama is rushing toward me to destroy my unborn child. Please protect my womb. Hearing her plea, the Lord immediately entered Uttara's womb and shielded the unborn Parikshit, thus ensuring his survival. The 4 types of devotees. A devotee who desires wealth for comfort and convenience but seeks it only from God, not from worldly means, is known as an Artharthi Bhakt. a devotee seeking material gain. A Jigyasu Bhakt, a seeker, is one who has an intense desire to know and understand God. Uddhavji is a prime example of such a devotee, as he sought divine knowledge from Lord Krishna, which later became known as Uddhav Gita. In the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the highest form of devotion is considered to be that of the Jnani Bhakt, a knowledgeable devotee. Such a devotee harbors no worldly desires and remains immersed solely in divine love. The gopis of Vrindavan exemplify this form of devotion. They renounce their own happiness, finding joy only in the happiness of their beloved Lord Krishna. A true Jnani Bhakt does not seek anything from God. He loves God selflessly, making him the supreme devotee. Why do good people suffer while the wicked prosper? A common question arises in people's minds. Why do bad people, despite their wrongdoings, lead happy and prosperous lives, while good people, who perform righteous deeds, often face hardships and humiliation? Many feel disheartened, thinking that the era of righteousness is over. If you too have pondered this question, then listen carefully to its answer, as revealed in the Bhagavad Gita. Whenever Arjuna faced dilemmas, he turned to Shri Krishna for guidance. On one such occasion he asked, "Why do good people suffer, while the wicked thrive?" Hearing Arjuna's concern, Shri Krishna smiled and replied, "O Parth, things do not happen as man perceives them. It is ignorance that prevents one from understanding the truth." Arjuna was still puzzled, so Lord Krishna decided to illustrate the answer through a story. The Tale of Two Men, a lesson in karma. In a certain city, two men lived vastly different lives. One was a pious businessman devoted to righteousness. He believed in daily prayers, temple visits, charity, and acts of kindness. The other man, in contrast, was dishonest and irreverent. He visited the temple daily, not to pray, but to steal shoes and slippers left outside. He had no regard for charity or righteousness. One fateful day, heavy rain left the temple deserted except for the priest. The dishonest man saw this as an opportunity to steal the temple's donations. Avoiding the priest's watchful eyes, he managed to escape with the temple's money. At that same moment, the righteous businessman arrived at the temple. Unfortunately, the priest mistook him for the thief and raised an alarm. A crowd gathered and beat the innocent man severely. Barely escaping with his life, he limped away, only to be struck by a car outside the temple. The businessman, disheartened by his struggles, encountered the man who had stolen money from the temple. The thief, boasting about his fortune, said, "Today, my luck has shone. I have received a large sum of money all at once." Witnessing this, the businessman felt deeply disillusioned. In his despair, he removed all images of God from his home. Years passed, and upon their deaths, both men arrived at the court of Yamraj. Seeing the thief standing beside him, the businessman was filled with anger. He confronted Yamraj and said, "I spent my entire life performing righteous deeds, engaging in charity, and worshipping God, yet my life was filled with suffering and humiliation. Meanwhile, this man, who committed countless wrongs, lived a life of luxury. Why such injustice?" Yamraj, with a gentle smile, replied, "My son, you are mistaken. The day you met with that car accident was originally destined to be your last, but due to your good deeds, your death was reduced to a minor injury. As for this man, he was indeed fated to have great prosperity due to his past karma, but his misdeeds reduced that fortune to nothing more than a small bundle of stolen money." After narrating this story, Shri Krishna turned to Arjuna and said, "O Parth, do you now understand? To think that God is ignoring your actions is a false belief. The truth is, man fails to recognize the ways in which the divine dispenses justice. If you continue to perform good deeds, God's blessings will always be with you." The law of karma and the teachings of the Gita. Every action has consequences. Good or bad, no deed ever goes in vain. As Shri Krishna declares in the Bhagavad Gita, those who engage in righteousness will never meet a sorrowful end. Man should be fearless, pure, and devoted to his spiritual path. Speak with a generous heart, avoid anger, and treat everyone with kindness. The law of karma ensures that every action leads to an outcome. Just as fire reduces wood to ashes, self-knowledge dissolves inner conflicts and grants peace. Believe in God like a child who laughs when tossed into the air, knowing with certainty that his father will catch him. Similarly, surrender your worries to the Almighty and trust His divine plan. In this world, those who seek the fruits of their actions worship different deities because they believe such worship will grant them immediate results. However, the Bhagavad Gita teaches that the four Varnas, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, were created by God based on qualities and deeds, not birth. Although the Lord is the creator of the universe, He remains unattached to actions, as He does not seek rewards. Selfless duty and the path to liberation. Shri Krishna emphasizes that one must perform their duty without attachment to the results. Even in ancient times, the great sages followed this principle and attained salvation. Those who spread the knowledge of the Gita among devotees are especially dear to the Lord. Shri Krishna assures, "There is no one on earth more beloved to me than the one who shares this divine wisdom. Those who listen to the Gita with faith and purity will be freed from all sins and will attain my supreme abode." Embracing the teachings of the Gita in daily life. Life is like a bucket lowered into a well. It bends to gather water but rises full. Similarly, those who bow with humility receive great blessings. Words are like keys. When chosen wisely, they can open hearts or silence negativity. If the body grows, exercise. If the mind is restless, meditate. If wealth increases, engage in charity. True peace is not found in material wealth alone. Without inner harmony, even an ocean of riches cannot quench the thirst of the soul. Friends, life's ups and downs may test your strength, but remember, every verse of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita reminds us that difficulties are temporary. In challenging times, do not feel alone. Krishna is always with you, guiding your path. Join us in spreading Krishna's divine wisdom. The Krishna Vani Gyan channel is dedicated to bringing Shri Krishna's teachings to every heart. Each video on our channel offers invaluable lessons to simplify life's struggles. Subscribe now and stay connected with divine knowledge. Your support motivates us to continue sharing meaningful content. If this message has inspired you, listen to it repeatedly. You will find new wisdom in it each time. Implement these teachings in your life and inspire those around you. Share this invaluable knowledge so that more people may benefit from the eternal wisdom of Shri Krishna. Until we meet again in the next video, embrace Krishna's words and walk the path of righteous action in every situation. Jai Shri Radhe Krishna.